Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. In this video we are going to finally be taking a look at the AGL Super Saiyan Transforming Goku that was recently EZA'd with part 2 of the worldwide 350 million download celebration. So his leader skill has become a 130% leader skill across the board for superclass types. On his super attack, he raises his attack and defense every single turn up until his final transformation. In terms of passive, he has attack and defense plus 110%, ki plus 3 plus an additional attack of 10% and defense of 40% when attacking an extreme class enemy. He also reduces damage received by 21%. That will increase per stage of his transformation, 1% on the damage reduction, and his attack and defense will go up by 10%, and the bonus he gains against extreme class enemies will invert, meaning the attack will go up by 10% and the defense will go down by 10%, up until the defense is completely lost. In terms of links, he's got pretty interesting links: Prepared for Battle, Super Saiyan, Fierce Battle, All in the Family, and Kamehameha are like his major links, but he changes links throughout his build. So you can see here Super Saiyan Goku 3, he gains obviously limit breaking form and shocking speed, over in a flash, and then in the god forms he gains warrior gods, shocking speed, and godly power. Of course, you can see here in his final stage, he's attack and defense of 150%, reverting to the changes I spoke to about earlier. And the main thing with Goku is just that he's going to keep building that defense and gain pretty high damage reduction, which will make him pretty decently tanky. Of course, another thing to note with Goku is in terms of build, you definitely want to build him into crit. He can have some decently high attack stats, and of course also Goku's super attack is farmable. Goku starts in the base form as an SSR, so you can farm him with any baseline Goku. That being said, Goku's best teams are likely depending on which event you're in. If you're doing short form events, Goku's probably not going to make it past Super Saiyan 3, whereas if you're doing long form events, Goku will be spending the majority of his time as a blue Super Saiyan. One of his best pairing partners is the transforming Vegeta, but there's numerous Gokus that are fantastic pairing partners for him along various stages of his transformation. Because of his transformation, he has very nice categories. He's got Realm of the Gods, Goku's Family, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3. He's got Legendary Existence. He's got tons of great categories for him to be on, which is really awesome due to the fact that he has so many damn categories. And so many transformations as well. So in terms of Goku, obviously my Goku is 55%. So it's going to be a little bit different to my Frieza video. Frieza in my case was 100% rainbowed and link leveled. This Goku is probably the exact opposite. He's not really link leveled that much and he's only 55%. But it's always good to get a spectrum, so we'll just take a look at how good Goku is and get a good idea of how he performs. Of course, we're going to pair Goku up in the beginning with Vegeta. Vegeta is one of his better partners. This is because obviously if you can link them up, they generally both change form at roughly the same time, and barring the Super Saiyan 2 SS3 stage where Vegeta and Goku kind of don't really mesh, for the most part they mesh pretty well. They share at least 3 or 4 links the whole time. They're a good combination to have. Another good partner for Goku for short-term missions is obviously depending on the event, is the transforming SS3 Goku, the Int Goku. They share quite a few links until Goku gets to SS3, and if you transform them both at the same time, they actually feature a lot of links together. Like, they share a lot of links, they're very good, they're super solid. So yeah, just overall really solid. As we could see there, Goku with some decent defense in the beginning. Roughly 80-70k for a 55% unit, depending on what gear you're going to have. He does have a little bit of support in the form of Tora, but nothing too crazy. He does have 21% damage reduction there as well, which is a good, decent start point. Maybe isn't the greatest start point, but it's a decent start point. It's relatively well. In terms of Goku and Frieza, I think obviously, having used a full power Frieza, you have to kind of temper the expectations. Frieza obviously starts off doing pretty nuts damage. We're talking like 3.5 million, depending on who he's linked up with. One notable thing about Frieza, I feel, is that Frieza's link set is really relatively good the entire way through. It's not necessarily the greatest, but it's relatively good the whole way through, which I think, obviously appeals to having Frieza. I think with Goku, his link set does change, but that final form of Goku is still really, really solid. I don't think there's anything wrong with that final form of Goku. And if you have it paired up with a good partner, it's going to be doing a lot of damage in long-term events. Just think short-term, he can be a little bit wonky, which shows because his teams aren't so set because he's on so many varying categories. He's got 56k defense, but this is because he took a super last turn that lowered his defense. We do have 22% damage reduction right now though, and he will raise his attack and defense on super. So overall, not too concerned about Goku's defense at this point. We are going to take a hell of an attack here and some damage, but it's also, again, not too big a concern. Yeah, so like I was saying, the thing with Goku is, obviously, especially at 55%, he may not look as good as Frieza did, but comparing this Goku to what he was to what he is now, he's way better. His damage is far more consistent. The fact that he doesn't lose defense makes his damage reduction super valuable now because his defense can get to decently high points. Even at 55%, we're going to see he can get defense to a really, really decent point. And because he can do that, that makes 25% damage reduction so much more valuable. Raising attack and defense on super also helps Goku, obviously because that means that, taking super attacks after he fires his super attack means he's going to take way less damage. And just in general, Goku's performance overall just goes up. The one nice thing about this transforming Goku is he's on some niche categories. We're talking like Super Saiyan 3, which is a category that desperately always needs help because it's such a small, confined category. The Gotenks, easy A, this guy's easy A, the new not new now, but the transforming SS3 Goku, they all contribute to making the category way more viable, which is really, really awesome. Obviously, taking a look here, we've got Goku. So obviously the SS3 Goku took that super last turn, which is why his defense is so low. But this Goku sitting at 100 and something K defense, really, really solid right off the bat. 23% damage reduction as well, which is very, very good. He's going to raise his defense again on super. And he's got a decent pairing partner here. They're sharing 4 links. So, this is without support, nothing like that. Just some decent, solid stats, good attack damage, close to 3 million, and 55%, so really, really good. Goku at max level, if you took a Rainbow Goku and a max link leveled Goku, he would probably hit close to Frieza's level. I wouldn't say exactly the same, because obviously Frieza has big bad bosses in his link set. He's got a little bit more attack orientated in link set. But Goku overall would definitely be hitting some super high peaks. His defense, Goku's defense is better than Frieza's by a long shot. So the reason why Goku's defense is better than Frieza's is because essentially they can hit very similar defensive stats. A max level Goku will hit a very similar defensive stat to the Frieza. A little bit less, but quite a high defensive stat. But when you have defenses that are in the 200 to 300 Ks, and you throw on 25% damage reduction, that just makes that unit so tanky and strong that it's really, really difficult to make them take damage. I've seen it on units like Nail, where his damage reduction comes into play because he's with Piccolo, and even him sitting at something like 300k with 10% damage reduction, he's just taking so much less. Because if you think about it, if a unit fires a 500k super attack, and that super attack is reduced by 25% before it hits, that super attack's going to drop way down. 500k reduced by 25% makes it 375, only going to take 75k. And that's if Goku doesn't super before he takes the super attack. Because remember, Goku will raise his attack and defense on the super attack. So a good start there by Goku on the Pure Saiyan's team, 130 something K defense while he's sitting in the Super Saiyan 3 form and close to 3 million damage. We didn't get to see him cycle with a lot of support or anything. We obviously saw one turn with his defense lower. So we'll switch over to the Goku's family team, which is also another super strong category for him, and we'll take a look at how he performs there. Of course, Goku has multiple teams, and pretty much any team where there's a Goku on it, Goku's going to have a solid pairing partner. It's just going to depend on what phase. Like, for example, Realm of the Gods, there's plenty of great Gokus that link with him. The issue is, of course, just that Goku necessarily doesn't maybe have the greatest partner at that time until Goku transforms into the red or blue version of Super Saiyan God. So, you see what I mean? It just depends on when you plan on using Goku and what kind of event you're in. Realm of the Gods team is great. Are you able to just get Goku super attacks, and then once he gets into his God forms, you can shift him into rotation, and he'll just annihilate everyone and be a great pairing partner with units like, the easier MUI Goku. It's really interesting how these transforming units change their links, and so it makes them, yes, a little bit wonky, but it does at least make them interesting to use and give them variable different events that they're going to excel in depending on certain teams. Realm of the Gods is great for Goku and long form events, Legendary Existence as well. However, short term events or events that hit hard out the gate, you're probably better looking at Goku on Super Saiyan or Pure Saiyan teams or Goku family teams. It's just going to depend on what you're using, when you're using it, and just in general how you feel at the time. It's kind of one of those things where it's very difficult to gauge what's going on without building your team beforehand, because Goku himself is such a viable unit on so many different team builds that he's not necessarily locked into certain roles or things, whereas Frieza was kind of, Wicked Bloodlines essentially guy. He needs a Wicked Bloodlines unit to make him tick, whereas Goku's like, okay, we'll just kind of make you work on a team. So Goku here, we've got 60k defense. Remember, he did take that super attack beforehand last turn. As always, they're just desperate to lower his defense. So he did take that super attack, so his defense is a little bit lower than what it should be. We do have some decent support on the rotation. So the first thing we're going to want to see is just basically his attack stat. And then by next turn, we should be able to see realistically his defensive stats. Obviously, we are using 2.7 million, pretty good. We are facing the Bojack event, which obviously Bojack in that final slot there has 99% damage reduction, so you can basically just fight him forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. We're not going to do that. We're just going to try and get through all of Goku's forms, switch in some different partners, just see how he performs basically, and just get a decent look at what Goku's like, what he performs like, how good is Goku, and just get a good feel for what Goku does and what he brings to the table. This GT Goku, really good, by the way. Huge attack stats, really impressive unit. But I definitely think Goku was a great easy A. I think he's really helpful. I think he helps out a lot of categories, especially the Super Saiyan 3 and the Legendary Existence categories. Those categories, need a little bit more kind of units that are viable options, especially Super Saiyan 3. So this is a really big win for those categories, and it's one of the bonuses that contributes to Goku as a unit. So here we go. Goku is now Super Saiyan 3, so the third from last transformation or so. He's got support on the rotation, and we are sitting at 126,000 defense, which is pretty good. We have supered every turn. We only have 3 links activated. That's just because obviously we don't have a Super Saiyan 3 unit next to Goku. Generally those units will link up pretty decently with him. Most of them have limit breaking form, but a solid attack stat from Goku as well. So overall, pretty decent so far. Remember, he still has at this point 23% damage reduction as well. So that 130 or so thousand defense that he's currently rocking after supering is a pretty solid amount. I think they've done a great job with both Frieza and Goku's EZAs. I think they're both super solid options on most teams that they can be on. They've both been brought up to date into the new meta, and they are both actually really valuable still at 55%, as shown by Goku. He may not necessarily be the most impressive unit at 55%, although I think he looks really, really good. He is still obviously still super duper viable at 55%, which is really, really awesome to see. That this unit for so many years now, at least the last, like, I'd say definitely the last year, has fallen off the pace quite a bit, and it's still good to see how EZAs can really just make a lot of these units come back into vogue, be useful again, be super helpful. And yeah, his leader skill, 130% super class, is super helpful. It'll be helpful in completing challenges, especially LGEGT challenges, because obviously Goku can at least be used as the lead for some of those categories, and obviously he's very good in long form missions. So we have Goku in his God form now. He has 5 links activated with this Kaioken Goku, yet another unit that links great with him. And he has 130,000 or so defense. Really, really solid, 24% damage reduction at this point, and just overall really looking quite impressive. We'll see a attack stat from him here. He's got some nice attack links activated, 3.4 million, so a nice sizable increase. A really solid attack stat at this point. 3.4 is really, really good. So yeah, looking good. Of course, Goku is a unit that benefits a lot from link leveling. He has some really powerful attack links that he can increase later on once he hits his top transformation. And links like All in the Family are good for starting defense, along with obviously his solid key links. He has double key links in his final form, Over in a Flash and Shocking Speed, and both of those feature attack and defense, as they level up in terms of links. So realistically, Goku's got quite a few options. Now that we're nearing his final transformation, we are going to finally progress past this stage. I know using the Bojack stage is not always ideal, but based on my Frieza review, I decided to rather do the long form transformations all in one go as part of one display, because I just felt it makes more sense. But yeah, Goku's looking really good. Just remember, of course, that his damage is increased against extreme enemies, which is why you'll notice his attack stats are looking really, really solid. So if you are fighting super class enemies, just expect them to drop slightly. Although, like I say, he's still really, really solid. We'll try him out in a couple events as well. We'll try him out in Extreme Super Battle Road. We'll try him out in the Gods of Destruction stage. And we'll just try him out in general in a variety of content. Of course, Goku looks really, really good, and I'm really happy with how well they've made him perform at 55%. We're now going to hit that final transformation. Remember, in the first turn of his final transformation, Goku does have a critical hit. So that is important to take note. It's a guaranteed critical. And he's got 170,000 or so defense with obviously some support, but still really, really, really good in terms of defense. Plus 25% damage reduction, and he raises his defense after super. So we're looking at 190,000 defense, 55% unit with, a solid attack stat, 4.3 million. Unfortunately, the Dokkan attack means you don't see the stat at the top. But if you look under Goku's name, it's 4.3 million, which is really, really good. Again, it's not exactly the same as the Rainbow Level Link 10 Frieza's 8 point something million, but of course remember this Goku is 55%, so we're missing a large chunk of stats, and we're missing a lot of attack output from the links. So realistically, Goku should probably get pretty damn close, if not exactly the same. So yeah, really, really good display by Goku. Really impressed with everything we've seen. So we're going to wrap everything up here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to move on. But let's take a look at Goku's active skill. Might as well while we're here and we're able to see it. Obviously it doesn't do much damage, but still pretty cool active skill nonetheless. And it also raises his attack. But yeah, really, really impressed with the transforming Goku. Really happy with his EZA overall. If you have him, definitely EZM. If you're looking to buy him with red coins, he is very decent at 55%. So if you are looking for a Super Saiyan 3 unit, maybe you're looking for a more generic lead, maybe looking for someone to complete some content with, maybe you're looking for a legendary existence unit or something like that, then you can definitely pick up Goku. I don't think it's a shame to spend coins on him, but he is quite a common unit on banners, so you shouldn't, you will probably see him back before long. It just depends on what units are coming around the corner, but Goku is a really top-notch unit now, and his EZA has really improved his performance. But yeah, we'll take a look at his links now. Obviously his links are a little bit different to other units. Remember, Goku's links change over time, so we're gonna have to take a look at a bit more units than we usually would, but overall I think it all serves the same purpose. We'll definitely get a good idea of who we can use with Goku, who we can't use with Goku, and when we can use him with Goku, which I think is also an appropriate thing to take a look at with a unit like Goku, who excels in varying events depending on who you put next to him. So yeah, overall looking forward to it, and yeah, let's take a look at his top linking units. But really good performance by Goku defensively and offensively. Of course, when we are looking for Goku's linking partners, there are a couple links that let's just go through his links and then I'll point out what we need to focus on. So the issue with Goku is mainly that he has a key link change, and that's really not the biggest issue, but like it's a problem, but that's really something you need to be aware of when you're team building around Goku. See, Goku has Golden Warrior, he has all these links, Super Saiyan and everything, but in this first section of his transformations, his key link is Prepared for Battle. When he transforms to Super Saiyan 3, that key link changes to being Over in a Flash. And then when he transforms later on to his God forms, he gains an additional key link, but at shocking speed. So what that means is that any Prepared for Battle unit in a long event, or any event that goes further than turn 5 or 6, is going to be a severe drop-off for Goku as a partner. Now obviously you can build your team up about rotating partners in and out for Goku, as long as you're happy with either moving Goku's partner to a floater or switching him back to the other rotation. So it is just something that you need to be aware of firsthand with Goku when you are building teams around him. That key link is going to change, he's going to gain key links for sure, but it is quite difficult to build around, because obviously you need to make sure that you're getting the necessary links so that everything can flow together. In terms of his first form, these are pretty much his best linking partners. The Goku 2 Angels, really good for him, they share 5 links. Similarly with the Future Gohan, they actually share 4 links as well. He shares 4 links with a lot of units. The Int Goku as well is really good. So the Int Goku that turns SS3, as we saw from earlier in the video. So there's a lot of good linking partners for Goku at this stage. As long as they have Prepared for Battle and All in the Family, that's probably what you want to go for, because that's what makes Goku good in the first turn. But he drops All in the Family from the second turn onwards. So realistically you want to aim for Prepared for Battle, Super Saiyan, Fierce Battle and Kamehameha, 4 units for that first bit. That gives him enough ki and everything. From there onwards, obviously things do change once he enters the Super Saiyan 3 form, and you're going to need to focus on units that have Over in a Flash. Over in the Flash units are super good because they will still link decently with his alternate forms, his God forms, because obviously they'll still have Over in a Flash, which means they still share a key link. They don't need to just have shocking speed as well, although obviously that would be nice. You can see that with this SS God Goku. He is a 5 link unit with Goku after he transforms God form, but he links decently with the SS3 version as well. So yeah, there's a lot of versions that are, there's a lot of units of Goku, or units in general, that link pretty well with Goku from that Super Saiyan 3 transformation onwards. My best option, or my best tip, would be to choose units that have Over in a Flash and rather build around that, rather than focusing in on units that have obviously the shocking speed portion, because like I say, that's more a bonus. If you build around Over the Flash, you can have them kind of sit with Goku for a bit longer. Of course, if you're worried about optimization, then you can definitely go for a unit that has both, but it's not really needed, because 2 ki is really more than enough most times for these units. That means they sit at about 8 ki, which is, really not bad. 8 ki is more than fine. So yeah, overall, I think definitely just a easy, well, an interesting unit to build around. As you can see though, a really good linking partner for him is this blue Kaioken Goku, who once again is a super solid linking partner for basically any god form Goku. And yeah, relatively pretty straightforward. Just looking at all of these units, there are more units that I'd like to highlight, just so that we have some kind of a list that people can refer to. Obviously, another really good unit is this EZA MUI Goku. They share 4 links together. And another really good unit is this Tech Goku, who, he's really good. He's dropped off a little bit, but he should get an EZA in future, and he'll be really, really solid as well. As an option for Goku. So yeah, plenty of great options for Goku. Just take a look around, just decide if you're doing a long form event, what kind of team you're building. Is it a Realm of the Gods? Is it the Super Saiyan? Is it the Goku's family? And just see what you're building. And if you see what you're building and you kind of work on that basis, then you'll be able to work Goku in quite well. But that's going to be it from me, guys. Let me know in the comments down below how you're finding Goku. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. But until then, stay safe and bye.